Well, around here, our issue is wind, but in Tennessee, they're still taking snapshots of that major flooding that set in last weekend. This video, of course, from Clarksville, Tennessee, one of the areas hardest hit by the rising rivers in that area, all a result of about 12 inches of rain. That's a foot of rain in less than 48 hours worth of time. Now, the water's receded in some parts of town, but most folks are still having to row back in, and they say the hardest part is just waiting, wondering when they're going to get home, and really there's no word yet when those folks will be allowed to return to their homes. Meanwhile, around here, the story is of calm winds this morning. Boy, can you believe it after the way they blew out there late yesterday afternoon. But don't be deceived. I think our old foe, the wind's coming back later this afternoon. But at least we're nice and mild out there. Temperatures in the 50s to get the day started. When we look at that 24-hour temperature change, some areas, especially out in western parts of the state and over the northwest corner of New Mexico and into southwest Colorado, as much as 20 degrees warmer than yesterday. But here is the story at hand, and it has to do with the wind. Now, notice we've got a couple of shades here. One is kind of a tan shade. The other kind of goes more orange. Now, this orange is actually located over the Sangre de Cristo, the peaks in the eastern slopes. In this area, we're expecting the winds to really whip it up this afternoon. Those areas under a high wind warning. The rest of eastern New Mexico, with the exception of much of Union County, under a wind advisory. These all in effect until 9 this evening. But the wind's going to be statewide, and so will the dry conditions today. So once again, exercise extreme caution. Red flag warnings have been issued for the state. Wind speeds right now, well, a little gusty around Ruidoso and out in the western parts of the state, but winds that we're looking at right now, nothing compared to what's coming in. So what I did today is in our little forecast box in the corner, not only do we talk about the type of weather we're expecting, also showing how high those winds could gust, and in the northwestern parts of the state, gusts could definitely go as high as about 45 miles per hour. Elsewhere around the state, we're talking wind gusts of 50 miles per hour plus, and sustained winds on the order of, say, 30 to 40 miles per hour. That's at least going to be the case in the southeast, so it'll be windy and it will be warm. That's right, 99 degrees forecast for a few communities there in the southeast later today. Meanwhile, it's out of the 70s and into the 80s in the northeast. Yesterday, we cooled some in that part of the state because of a cold front, but that's being erased quickly. And while the mountainous regions will remain a little cooler than elsewhere around the state, we still have a lot of warmth in the lower terrain. 76 in Santa Fe. I know that's not low terrain, but it's lower than the nearby mountains. In the East Mountains, we're heading for the upper 70s today, and in the metro, it looks like temperatures in the low to mid 80s will be commonplace along with those gusty winds. And forecast keeps that basically the same right into the weekend.